Hello and welcome to the Queber channel. I'm Jason, your host. I hope you're all having a splendiferous day. And today we're going to do a bit of a deconstruction of the last few videos, my decision to do with the Quingo. What it comes down to is, a lot of you already know, with my diagnosis and my reason for needing a mobility scooter is the same reason I need all the technology in my house. It all helps coping strategies to create a safe environment, a safe place for me. My official diagnosis is not who I am, but they are a map for the doctors and the teams out there that try to help me to know what's wrong, and that is I am on the autistic spectrum disorder. I have bipolar type 2. I have ADHD, and I suffer from PTSD. They are the primary mental challenges. I really only exist in safe spaces. Before I had mobility scooters, the only times I would leave the house was to go to the hospital or to go to the doctor for a test that they couldn't do at home. I would sometimes not leave the house more than 3 or 5 times a year. I never went out to the local shop to pick up a loaf of bread. I never went out to meet a friend. I never went out because it was a nice day and I wanted to go to the park. Because in those days, for me to do any of that, I had to plan 3 days ahead. I had to put things in place for the actual leaving of the house, and then the aftermath would ruin me for 2 or 3 days. If I tried to walk outside my house now and walk down the street, I would probably go about 10 feet before I would disassociate with reality, freeze up, become catatonic, and basically fall to the ground. It doesn't happen instantaneously. Sometimes I can last a little bit longer. Sometimes I stop being able to speak. Then I stop being able to process my environment. And it's a terrifying and not fun thing. So when I used to have to go to the hospital, I had to do it via a Uber or something like that. I had to have my headphones on, my noise cancelling. I have to have my visual displays on. I had special smart glasses and that to help me, and I had to plan out and create this image of the world outside isn't real, it's a game world, and I've scripted everything in my head to be able to deal with it. And the quest is to get to the doctors, or the quest is to get to the hospital. And the mental acuity, the mental bandwidth to do that took 3 days to prepare. And so it was not fun. But along comes the idea of mobility scooters. And funnily enough, that suggestion came from the people assessing me for PIP. It's funny, I've always been so nervous and so stressed about my reassessments and that because my benefits are what keep me going. But nearly every time I've explained all my problems and how they affect me to one of the assessors, by the end of it, they're like, oh God, is there anything we can add to this? Have you thought about this to try and help you and things like that? It's actually funny how they come to my side, and it's like, makes me feel like, oh shit, I really do have some problems, don't I? So, the thing is, when it comes down to it, a mobility scooter has changed my life. The Quingo wasn't the first mobility scooter I tried, but I did a big deep dive on all the research and everything. I could not afford at the time to buy a brand new one, so I bought a second-hand one. I had it serviced by the people at Quingo, who are brilliant. They came out and did a service, and they told me I had basically won the lottery in the terms of second-hand mobility scooters because it was in really good condition. It had spent most of its life inside a garage, and it had basically never been moved. So I was lucky. Would I buy one brand new at full price? No. Knowing what I know about it, yes. Would I suggest to other people to do the same? Yes. If you can't get one second hand. It's a lot of money, but every time I walk out that door and get on the Quingo and turn the key and see the diagnostics go through on the main display, I don't worry that it's not going to start. When I'm out on it, I don't keep looking at the power gauge to wonder if I can go a little further, to wonder if I can explore more. Hello, Zaki. Do you want a sweetie? It's a sweet break from the doggy. Zaki. Yes, you want? Come on. Come here, sit down. Sit, good boy. Oh, it's a different one, isn't it, this one? This was in peanut flavour. So, don't you want it? I'm going to put it on there for you. He's a bit funny about new sweets, and that's a new one. It'll take him a little while to get used to it. But that is the thing. When I thought about upgrading to a newer scooter, a better scooter, a full cabin with air conditioning and Bluetooth speakers and a wonderful LED smart console with all shiny stuff on it and everything, and electric windows. The problem is, due to the size of those systems and where I live, there's no way that can do what they're going to do. Even though I would be spending more money on it, almost £11,500 on it, I would be compromising. There's no way I could go through shops anymore. I wouldn't be able to go through Tesco. I wouldn't even be able to go through the main door for Trentham Gardens to go out and go around the lake. I would have to go to places on that big thing, stop outside, and then manage to get around wherever I wanted with a walking stick, because I don't have a walking stick because we've figured out that walking sticks can help me. Not because it keeps me steady, I don't have a problem walking, but because I can use the walking stick to hit the ground. And by hitting the ground with the walking stick, I'm grounding myself in this reality. So I can walk, if I haven't got someone to hold their hands, if I haven't got something like a wall to hold on to, I can hit the ground with each step with a walking stick. And I've found that I've tested it in the hospital. I tested it a couple of nights ago at the clinic that I went to. So that was an idea. But it would never be as comfortable as actually driving around the shop or driving around the area on the Quingo. And the funny thing is that one of those scooter cabins don't have much storage room as the Quingo does. So there was a lot of compromises that I would have been making. And it came to a head a couple of nights ago when I went for my diabetic eye screening. And it's in this small little health centre in Stoke that I had never been before. So, and it was of course raining and horrible. It was 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And so I took the Quingo out there. There was no problem getting down into Stoke. There was lots of traffic lights and there was lots of problems. They've actually cordoned off the area I would normally go, so I had to find a different way around the town. And while Stoke-on-Trent has actually fixed some of the primary road pavements and a lot of the side roads and that are horrendous. You've seen them. You've seen the challenges of going out on a mobility scooter in that area. And this is another reason why I have to pick the Quingo, because if I'm mentally checking when I go out, where will I be able to get with a vehicle that is 105 centimetres wide, 115 centimetres wide with the mirrors out, the side mirrors out, and 195 centimetres long. And I realised that when I was out there travelling to this place, that I would have had to stop and park up that vehicle, the scooter cabin, almost 500 metres away from this little place, because the road was full of cars. The pavements were very short and narrow. There was obstacles in the way, and there was just no way. And the car park was full anyway, so there wasn't any space even for one of them. And so it just came to me that all this thought about changing out to the Quingo, it won't work for me. It will not work for me. So I'm sticking to the Quingo. It is the most reliable. I was able to park it right up next to the front door of the Quingo, go down the little ramp and straight there and just park it there, lock it up and go in. And so, because I know a lot of people don't watch my long form videos as I'm travelling out as well, because the noise and that affects them, and I understand that. I am going to be sticking with Quingo moving forward, because the over-engineered systems, the safety, the fact that I've never had to worry or use the manual brake on it ever. It's there. I've tested it a couple of times to make sure that it works, because I don't use it. The fact that I can take that vehicle out, rain, snow, anything, and know that I'm okay. It's not perfect. There's things I miss from other mobility scooters, like I've said before, if it had a couple of cup holders for my flask on either side of the main steering column, I would love that. But that's something I could, if I really wanted to, I could 3D print something or add something to the column. I wish it had dual 12-volt outputs, because I believe one of them is used up if you have the heated. You can get heated steering tillers to keep your hands warm in the winter. But when you plug that in, I believe it takes the spot of where I plug in my little USB adapter. I wish its main light was stronger and there was a way to have it so that it was outside the canopy. I know that's a thingy. That's about one of the only things I like about that I think are really good on the S4 Breeze TGA model. I wish that the canopy was more. Well, it is a permanent fixture, because I don't think many people actually take the canopy off, because it's bolted to the frame and the frame is bolted to the scooter type thing, and it's a big job for someone to take it off and that. So it is removable, but I don't really thingy. I love the rear-facing camera. That thing's been a lifesaver when you're on the road. So, and my other pet peeve, and it's very hard for me. You know how easy I can usually complain about everything. I can usually take apart things and figure out problems with them. I wish that the digital display had a journey travelled. At the moment, I have my phone set up with its little odometer set up now, so that I can see how long I've travelled each time. Whereas the Quingo tells you how far you've gone in total. It doesn't do per travel things, which I would love them to expand the little console there. And if I really want to nitpick, I miss the horn on the Quingo Max. For anybody that's heard one, it sounds like a bloody car horn. It's loud. People notice you when you use that, and it's noticeable enough even for car users. I've tested this, and there's no way a car user will hear the horn on a Quingo. That's something that I wish it had. But these are little nitpicks. If it came to it, I could blooming fit stuff to it myself. Same with the lighting. I could put a couple of bike LED lights angling down in front on outside of the actual arc canopy. Because it's a metal frame canopy, it would fit and it would be okay. You've got that there. If you're not going to eat it, it's on you. It's a sweetie. You can eat it. So, I will be sticking with the Quingo. Because I have put that Quingo through 900 miles of the pain and suffering that is the Stoke-on-Trent pavements and roads. You've all seen it. If you've seen my videos as I went out, you've seen places where the pavements has roots from the big trees next to them, and it's like that when you're going over the big roots, and that big roots might be just about 70 centimeters between that root and the wall to get past, and the Quingo makes it. The Quingo makes it through that gap and over those roots. I've never taken the Quingo anywhere in Stoke-on-Trent where it didn't succeed. I've taken it down areas if you ever go to Trentham Gardens, and you've seen me go there, you can go around the entire lake, and there's different paths. One of the paths is just quite leisurely, but different ones go down slopes and underneath and in between groves and that, and it's like a mountain bike path. And the Quingo makes it every time. When I go out with the Quingo, and I said this on my vlogs while I was out there, I feel like I'm in a vehicle where I'm saying, come on, what else can we try? Where else can we go? And that kind of independence and reliability and joy in knowing that when I turn that key, when I start off on my journey, that no matter what challenge I face out there, the Quingo's got my back. And this is a longer video than I was going to do, but It's basically the reasoning behind why I won't be getting the nice, shiny, gorgeous looking scooter cabin, and I will be sticking with Quingo because they've proved themselves to me. The other thing I want to mention right at the end is how waterproof it is. Now, most scooters are not waterproof. Most mobility scooters are not in any way waterproof. My Pride Revo 2.0. You know my Pride Revo 2.2, which I use for the very few places that are too tight inside my GP surgery to get to if I need to go to an appointment now. If I want to actually drive in there completely, it's the only places where and that's it's only a pavement scooter. It hasn't got all the potentials that the other one's got. Zaki, do you want this? Is this what you want? Is that yours? I thought you might want them wanting that. Your tutor. There we are. And the thing is, I remember when they came and fitted the canopy. The guy who did the work on it. I mean, you can't record them. It's one of the things that I ask you not to record the guy who's doing the thing, which is fine, no problem with that. But I wish I had been able to, because that guy, he was such a fucking champion. He was such a champion because pretty much the moment he got here, the sky opened up with a rainstorm. And because my Quingo's outside and that, so he pretty much took it apart in the pouring rain. And because of my experience with other scooters, I was like, is that going to be okay? Is the scooter going to be okay in this rain? And I said, yeah, he said, no problem at all. It'll handle anything. And it was like, when he had done it all and put it back together, I was like, is this going to start? So yeah, it's, even without the canopy, I wouldn't go driving it through the middle of a lake or anything like that, but it handles British weather really well. So this is Jason for the Quebber channel. I hope you're all having a wonderful day.